Breastfeeding brings you into higher states of consciousness. And I have just been on this beautiful nursing breastfeeding journey for the last 10 months. And I noticed this correlation between the gene keys and what I was experiencing during breastfeeding, this heightened state of consciousness. And so when I was in those early stages of nursing, of breastfeeding, especially at night, I would enter such deep meditations, like life altering, profound meditations. And I was experiencing such heightened states of consciousness. And we know that prolactin and oxytocin are released while you're breastfeeding. Oxytocin's obviously that feel-good hormone, but also the amino acid tryptophan is released while you're breastfeeding. And I remember first like having the word tryptophan in my awareness when I was reading the 35th gene key. And the 35th gene key is all about the shadow aspect being hunger, that every single human is born with this shadow that's inherent within us. And it's this constant need of hunger. And so we look outside of ourselves to fill ourselves up. This is where addiction and lust and satisfying the senses comes in all forms. This is also distraction, and we look for dopamine. We just look to feel numb, distracted, or we turn to food, to sex, to alcohol, like whatever it may be. It's because we're trying to fill up this innate hunger that we have within us. And according to the 35th gene key, and the only way to really transmute that shadow into the gift of what they call adventure is to have an implosion of serotonin, oxytocin within the body by bursting into the heart. And so that happens when you turn this shadow of hunger, you stop looking outside of yourself, and you have such immense love and oneness. You feel a state of oneness. And that allows you to make that leap from the solar plexus chakra into the heart chakra as you're raising your consciousness. You burst into the heart with this unconditional love, and then you have an implosion of serotonin and oxytocin within the body. And then, according to the gene keys, the word adventure is what's described as having a life that is heart led. If you live your life heart centered, heart based, then you live a life of true adventure and you permanently make that leap out of the shadow of hunger. You no longer need to look outside of yourself to fill yourself up. Okay, so this is related to the amino acid tryptophan is corresponding to this 35th gift, that once you make that leap into the heart, you burst into the heart and you have an implosion of serotonin and an implosion of tryptophan. Now you, like I said, you stay in that permanent altered state, that higher state of consciousness. And now back to breastfeeding, tryptophan is released while you're breastfeeding. And so while the mother is nursing her child, she's already feeling these feel good hormones, and she's already feeling this oneness and this connection to her sweet child. And she's feeling that her and her child are not separate. They're of the same flesh, they're of the same essence, they're of the same spirit. So there's already that sense of oneness that exists within the mother, if she were to think about it like from the mental and the emotional level. But now there is this physical thing that is happening inside of her with her amino acid, with this tryptophan. It is triggering within her more heightened states of consciousness, more energy of oneness and love, and this experience of oneness, not separateness. And this is because of tryptophan. So while the mother is breastfeeding, she is experiencing these heightened states of consciousness and heightened sense of oneness. And so I believe that it is so powerful for a woman, for a mother, to breastfeed consciously, working with these energies, working with this amino acid that's coursing through her body. By being aware of it and working with it consciously, you can you begin to heal all of this old trauma that's deep within your lineage, deep within your ancestry, that's in your physical body, this inherited trauma that you have, but then also any trauma that you experienced in your life. These heightened states of emotions, these heightened states of awareness and consciousness allow you to heal all of these past traumas, whether it be yours or that in which you inherited. But then now you get to crystallize that into your body while you're breastfeeding. You're crystallizing, you're changing your DNA, you're activating your DNA. And then that is being crystallized in your breast milk. And then this is what's going into your child. So now you're raising your consciousness, you're changing your own DNA, you're awakening your crystalline DNA, you're activating your gift consciousness, you're transmuting the shadows into the gift. While you're breastfeeding, you can really use it as an opportunity to heal deep, deep wounds because of this powerful amino acid that's coursing through your body and this heightened sense of awareness and oneness. You can heal all of this deep trauma in the moment. And then you're activating your crystalline DNA. And then that is exactly what your child is drinking in and taking into their body, is this crystalline divinity. And so we all know that like water experiment where there were droplets of water, and the water that was around like anxiety looked a certain way. The water that was around pure love looked this magical way, and that you can actually program your water before you drink it. And you can speak to your water and say, thank you for nourishing me. Please send crystalline love, divinity, oneness into my body. Please replenish every cell. You can actually talk to your water and it will heal you when you speak to it that way. Well, now imagine what's happening to the breast milk as the mother is using that feeding session as an opportunity to raise her consciousness, to heal any old trauma in her lineage and in her ancestry, in her physical vessel, and now activate these heightened senses of awareness. And then that is what's being passed into the child. It's truly magnificent. It's truly so profound. It's so beautiful. I got to experience this firsthand. I had such a beautiful breastfeeding journey. It was something that was so natural for both me and my child. Obviously, it's natural. The baby wakes up, the baby's born and automatically goes to suckle. They're looking for the breast. But I'm so grateful that we had such a beautiful breastfeeding experience. And I was grateful for it every single day, because I know that's not the case with every single mother. And if this wasn't your experience, or if you breastfeeded in the past and you're not going to have any more children and you feel like you missed out on this opportunity, you did not. I'm just sharing this awareness for anyone who may be pregnant right now, or anyone who's in those early stages of breastfeeding. Please understand that this is such a powerful opportunity to give your child this beautiful head start with these activated crystalline DNA and cells that are being passed into your child. It's just a really powerful moment for the mother and for the child to do this deep ancestral healing. So I wanted to share that. The Gene Keys is such an amazing resource for understanding how to consciously parent. And by you doing this work on yourself, by you healing yourself and becoming a fully conscious, awakened adult, you are then creating the living aura into which your child is born. And that's exactly what you and your partner in the home is. It's the living aura into which the child is born. And you can give your child the greatest head start in life by being so consciously aware of your own patterns of destruction, your own patterns of hurt, of conditioning, and of fear, and working hard to transmute that into your gifts and tap back into your inherent gifts and genius, and tap back into your soul mission, have a remembrance. And now you get to experience childhood again. Once you have a child, you get to actually heal your own inner child by parenting your child the way that you wish that you were parented. And it's this deep, beautiful, cyclical healing of giving your child the best chance to be what it really is, to be a human, a powerful human, minus the conditioning. So just let your child be exactly who they were born to be. You learn from your child and make sure that you're doing that work to leave your own baggage and your own hurt and your pain as far away from your child as possible, and give them the best shot at being superhuman, crystalline, beautiful beings. So breastfeeding is such an incredible thing. I'm so grateful for it. And yes, I hope you have a beautiful breastfeeding journey as well. Much love.